Hey guys, welcome back to Seller Sessions. This week we bring back Taylor. We're going to be discussing again AMS and the latest updates, along with another platform called AAP. Taylor, what have you been up to?
Not much, just AMS, man, and reading about AAP and working out all the new updates that's been going on in AMS. Not really too much new going on.
Yeah, and so there's some new changes. So let's kick off with, before we get into Amazon advertising platform, we'll save that towards the end. Let's talk about the most recent changes. Let's start with broad match that has been added to AMS. What are the benefits?
Yes. So broad match, I mean, obviously previously in AMS for the headline ads, you only had phrase and exact match, which is fine. And there was never broad. And then it was about 6 days ago, they added in broad match. And so obviously the benefits is you're going to have a greater reach. The part that really sucks is the fact that you have no search term report. So you're kind of just putting it in there and you have no idea which keywords are ever going to convert. So you're kind of just hoping that you're going to set up these campaigns. Eventually they'll have a search term report. And what people need to really make sure they do is they need to make sure that you have to waterfall the bids, exact to phrase to broad. So your exact should be highest, phrase should be a little bit lower, and your broad should be a little bit lower than that. The reason I say that is because we made a huge mistake with one of our clients' accounts when we got access to broad match. We're like, let's put this thing out, let's test it, let's put a high bid on some stuff, and it was actually higher than the phrases at one point, just to kind of play around with it and test it. And what happened was that you bid broad match on a generic term, like for example, you're selling testosterone booster. You bid broad match on testosterone booster with a decent bid. What happens is it blankets all the other keywords, and the way that we set up our headline ads is in such a way where the headline is very targeted to what the shopper's searching. And then all of a sudden we put it in the broad match, and it's just one generic headline for all these thousands of different keywords. And then our click-through, all the other campaigns just got really messed up, so we had to immediately terminate it. So you have to be careful that if you're trying to go and have a strategy where your headlines are very targeted to the certain things that shoppers are searching, you don't want that overlap to happen. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but
it does.
It's really important.
It does. So how would you say is the best way to implement it into current campaigns? So you're currently running current campaigns. How would you integrate this? What's the best solution?
Well, for us, the way that we set up these campaigns, we previously had, phrase and exact in the same campaign. And since you don't have ad groups, really we can only put 500 keywords in phrase, 500 in exact, because you're only allowed to have 1,000 keywords per campaign. So the way we built them out is it's broad match keywords are in all of their own campaign. And I recommend doing that. That way you make the bid adjustments a lot easier. So you can have all your broad match campaigns in their own campaigns. So that way if you ever need to go in and edit them, it's really simple. You can just search like broad in your campaign search and then go in and edit all of them. I don't recommend going in and adding them into all your existing campaigns that have phrase and exact, because that'll give you a ton of headaches down the road, like a lot.
Right, gotcha. Okay, so any other indications of what should be done in terms of working with broad match? Anything to watch out for before we move on?
No, definitely just the thing of waterfalling the bids. Make sure it's lower than your phrase and exact, so you don't have some generic headline covering over all your long tail keywords that you might have had specific headlines for.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's talk about headline ads. They're now in beta for Seller Central.
Yeah.
So this... I'm imagining, like Amazon had just turned the tap on even harder, haven't they? It's like, if you ever want to get abuse to happen, why don't you just give everyone headline ads?
Yeah. But you know what? It was expected. I've been waiting for this day for so long, and then I was browsing through LinkedIn one day, and I saw someone post this thing, and it was like just in like headline ads or in Seller Central, and I was swearing at myself. I was like, the average cost per click is just going to shoot through the roof now because everybody's going to start blasting these ads out. So. Yes, it's in beta. Some sellers are having access to it. Like literally 2 weeks ago, we had one of our clients who has access to it. Now, just under 50% of all our clients have access to it. So I imagine a lot of people are starting to get access to it. And is it different? It's really not that different. The only difference is, which is actually a big difference, is the fact that you can see the date range. So today, yesterday, last week, same as the sponsored products, how you can actually filter the date range, and you can now you can actually do your optimization a little bit better. Is there any extra reports? No, not that I know of. Maybe somebody has seen an extra report that I wasn't able to find, or some weird button hidden. That'd be amazing. I looked for search term reports. Nothing's shown up yet, but it isn't beta, so I imagine that they will be coming out with something soon for reporting, because there really is nothing. There is the same report button that AMS has, where you can download all the campaign data, like on the lifetime view, which it has that, but nothing else. So look out for it if you see it. All you have to do is click Campaign Manager, and it'll be right next to the sponsored products.
So if they're going to pop it into your account, it literally will appear there one day. It's not something that you can apply for in terms of joining the beta group or anything.
Yeah. One of the things so what we're seeing just over like the last 3 to 4 days is the average cost per click is actually going up. Not across all of our the accounts that we manage, but definitely very visible across two. And it's not a nice thing to see, obviously, because when the average cost per click goes up, your ACoS is going to go up because there's more people competing for the same keywords. And then we got to go to the client. We got to say, hey, look, you know what? Now it's not such a dream type of ad where it's just amazing. It converts extremely profitable. There's going to be a lot of people coming in that are about to start trying to bid for this stuff. So just expect it to be more competitive and not as profitable. But know that like there's still, I can't tell you how many accounts that will come into that they have no idea what they're doing. And so don't be too worried. Like if you've gone through training and you know how to do PPC, you know how to do sponsored products, you're going to still be at a large advantage because most people have no idea what they're doing.
I mean, it's an interesting one because you don't know, but like in terms of FBA sellers who are knowledgeable, who listens to podcasts and everything else, they're just going to turn up the heat. I'm just trying to work out is, obviously we burn the midnight oil in terms of PPC for visibility when we're launching products. So it'll just be interesting to see how out of control headline ads will get in comparison to normal sponsored ads,
Yeah, and what people have to really understand is that like a headline ad is a lot more competitive than a sponsored product ad. When you think about the sponsored products, you have 3 placements at the top, you got the right rail, you got the bottom of page 1. In the headline ad, you have 1 placement.
Yeah.
You got everybody fighting for 1 placement.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think the impact's going to be larger because the real estate is just the magnitude of 1, isn't it? You're not going to get... So that's why I think, we're going to have to start to come up with better strategies and tactics for in terms of marketing and visibility, which AAP is something that we're going to talk about a bit later. So with that in mind, let's talk about another new feature now, stores. What is stores? Walk me through it.
Yeah, so Amazon store pages, this was released, I want to say like 2 to 3 weeks ago, maybe. And basically, when you log into your Amazon Marketing Services and you just basically, right next to where it says advertising at the top of the page, there's something that says stores. When you click on that, it's basically, previously they had the brand page builder. Now they're calling it the store page builder. And it's essentially a brand page, but a really, really nice modern version. So now you can actually build a really nice store page. And there's so many different features that you can add into it. Like you can add like video placements. Like I know in the previous one you could have video, but everybody knows that the previous one was absolute trash. Like it looked terrible. Now it looks amazing. And there's some examples that they have when you click into it and you can see like Amazon Basics, the most well-known brand on Amazon where Amazon sells all their own stuff. They have a really nice, well-done store page, but it's something that everybody should definitely be building for their brand because you can drive external traffic to it, track that traffic that you're driving to that page, and then see the overall conversion rate. And as far as I know, it's the only actual like landing page you can build within Amazon and collect data from external sources and actually see the conversion rate.
Oh, right. And what kind of information do you know? Is any of your guys in the agency been testing? What kind of data that you're collecting?
So we don't have any new store pages across any of our clients because they're all extremely lazy, and we keep like telling them, hey, hurry up and launch the store page. But I'm going to talk briefly about what we actually want to do with these store pages and how I think everybody should go about it. Because if you're selling over 25 products, it's fine to go out and build a nice store page like Amazon Basics, and we'll put the example link in the notes so people can check it out. It's fine to build a page like that where it's described, where it has all your products on it. People can go through and look at all of them. But what we really want to do is, like, a lot of our clients have one or two products that result in 80% to 70% of their total sales. So if you have a flagship product that results in a huge percentage of your sales, what we want to do is literally just build this page out as like an amazing landing page to sell one product. Just very focused. It's literally just like a funnel. You sell one product, you hit the landing page, it's a big video, maybe it's got some nice images behind it, and then it's got the add to cart button below, and then you scroll down, it's got some nice big like A+ images, different features of the product, people using the product so that the customer can envision themselves actually using it, and maybe more videos as well. And it's just like a landing page to sell one product. And if you're focused on just selling one product and you drive all the traffic, targeted for that one product, the conversion rate is going to be obviously way better than when you have a generic storefront for all 100 thousands of your SKUs, however many you have, right? So we want to go a very, very, very targeted approach and test that out, because I think it's definitely the best way to go about it, unless you're trying to drive a ton of Google AdWords traffic and you just want to have a generic storefront, or maybe you don't have a flagship product. So I advise testing that out, and I'm hoping that next time we're on here on Seller Sessions that I'll be able to actually have some actionable data that I can give to everybody.
Yeah, no, it'd be great. We could maybe just go through and break down stores and obviously talk about the next thing what we're going to talk about now is the Amazon advertising platform. What is that?
Yes.
And who's it for?
So AAP is kind of like AMG, which everybody knows about, but Amazon has different names for it. So AAP is kind of like is a different advertising network that allows, if you have a Shopify store, you can literally drive traffic from the Amazon users' traffic to your actual website. You can also drive, like, there's retargeting ads, there's lookalike audiences. Most people don't know this, but like Facebook lookalike audiences, Amazon has their own platform, which is a lookalike audience where you can upload emails, create segments, lookalike to those emails, and the minimum emails that you're allowed to upload is about 10,000, I think, and then the maximum's, actually it's 20,000 minimum, maximum's 10 million. And so the way it works is when you upload these emails, Amazon will hash them, or you can hash them before. Basically what hashing means is you're kind of protecting, you're encrypting the emails so that Amazon can't see who's actually has that email. And so once you've uploaded it, Amazon will match those emails to their network and see if those emails are actual shoppers on Amazon. So if you're pulling emails on Managed by Stats, which I think most people do, and not to promote their stuff, but I don't know any other service that people pull emails from, and you're pulling your emails, all of those emails came from Amazon. So you'll pretty much have like 100% match rate. So if you have, let's say, 100,000 emails, you're going to upload them, there's likely going to be 99% match rate. And so now what you have is a ton of emails that you can retarget and basically bring back to your listing page. Not only that, but you can create the most powerful thing, which is lookalike audiences on those emails, which is incredible.
Wow. So we should break these down into sections for people who don't know what a lookalike audience is and the retargeting. So walk us through each of these steps now. You've given us like a global overview. You sign up for the platform. You've got plenty of different ad options. Walk me through the steps that you would take. You want to maybe run some desktop or mobile display ads. What are the steps that you would take?
So first step for getting in, for getting in, the number one way that we recommend to get in is if you've had an AMG rep, an Amazon Media Group representative contact you previously in the past or some recently, reach out to them and say, hey, look, I want to get access to AAP. I heard about the lookalike audiences. And also, I didn't touch on this, but the Amazon dynamic e-commerce ads, retargeting ads, which is basically retargeting similar to the lookalike audiences. Then they'll say, okay, great, let's set up a meeting. You're going to set up a meeting with them. When you set up the meeting, this is important. They're going to pitch you on everything. They're going to say, we have the display advertising where you can advertise on the Kindle Fire homepage. You can advertise on Washington Post, blah, 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 blah. That's all brand awareness crap that most people can't afford. The only two things that really matter are the dynamic e-commerce ads, retargeting ads, and then the lookalike audiences. These are the closest to the bottom of the funnel that are actually going to have a high conversion rate. The rest of the stuff is just a homepage stuff that's like a brand play, which isn't really going to get you a ton of results.
So am I right in thinking is that they've got their own network, like Facebook has a network and Google has the display network. That's where it all really started from, isn't it? Loads of shitty sites across the backwater of the web that no one wants to go to. It's like the armpit of the world, 1998 AOL dial-up kind of style websites what's it, with all different types of angel links and God knows what stuck to them. So so that's like the backwater of the internet. Now, obviously, Amazon owns the Washington Post.
Yes.
So obviously that's going to be one element in their network. Do we know what else is in their network, or is it again some good sites, premium sites, and a load of junk, or what?
No, they're hooked in with like everything. I mean, when you think about all the different like major networks where you can buy media from that are connected to all these different websites, they are literally hooked into like everything.
Right.
And with the reps that I spoke with, they're like, hey, like we have pretty much access to like almost everything on the web. Like it doesn't matter where your customers are going. There's a really high percentage of chance, even if they're going to that blog or that little weird blog that only gets 1,000 visits a month, we can probably still get them and hit them on that blog. And I was like, damn, that's cool. So they have access to a lot of different stuff.
So it's almost like they're tapping the display network.
They are.
Everyone else's display network. Else. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, but they got agreements with them, and they're buying ads from them at a ridiculously fast rate in order to retarget them immediately. So
they've got standard ad formats like leaderboard and and just like the square ads, the 250 by 250, etc. So all the standard web formats that you get on.
Yep.
Okay. And so with those, as you said, they're like the branding approach, yeah? So it's like unless you've got a lot of money to spend and it's top of the funnel rather than bottom of the funnel stuff, you ignore that. So for those that don't know, what is a lookalike audience? I'm sure 90% of Amazon sellers that tune into the show know what that is, but in your own words, what is it?
Yeah, so lookalike audience is what Amazon's doing is you upload, let's say, 1,000 emails of customers who have purchased your product. What Amazon's going to do is they're going to go out, look at the attributes and the different characteristics of those 1,000 people that purchased from you and find the most closely related people that look like those people and target them. So it's a really powerful thing. If that's not the best explanation, then I'd say that you could probably do a better explanation of it.
No, it's fine. It's always good to give people an understanding of what it is. I know that a lot of the advertising protocols are the same everywhere. I mean, Google kick-started most of these, and everyone else has their own version of those. Okay, so we've covered those. What is the other option that we was just discussing?
So the other one the two that are important is the lookalike audiences, and then the other one is the Amazon's dynamic e-commerce retargeting ads. That's a mouthful every time I say it.
Dynamic retargeting. Explain to the audience what that is as well.
So there's 3 layers of retargeting with this ad method. The first one is called promoted ASINs. So basically what this is anybody who comes to your listing page. So again, let's say you're selling a coffee cup. Anybody that comes to your coffee cup listing page and doesn't purchase your product, what you can then do is you can set up these promoted ASINs campaigns. And what it's going to do is it's going to go and look at every single person that had a detailed page view on your listing but didn't purchase your product, and you can go and directly retarget them one-to-one. So you're retargeting that same product that they looked at but didn't purchase, and you're retargeting them all across the web. Okay, so the next type, so that's the first different type that you can do. The next type is brand ASINs. So this is a type of e-commerce, dynamic e-commerce retargeting ad where anybody that has viewed multiple ASINs within your brand, so again, you have multiple different products that you're selling, anybody that's viewed more than 2 or more products across your brand, you can create a campaign where you can say, hey, look, anybody that's seen multiple products on my brand, go out and retarget them with those products that they've seen or other products from our brand. So those are the brand ASINs. Is that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Am I moving too quick? Okay, cool. So the last one is the related ASINs, and it might actually be called something else, but this is my memory of the phone call that I did with the reps. And the related ASINs is, underneath your listing page, how you have the people who bought this also bought that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so what they're doing is this is a campaign type where it'll go out and retarget people who have viewed the frequently bought with or frequently bought other products. So if you're selling whatever you're selling, a coffee cup, and there's coffee beans that are frequently bought with, but maybe it's not your product, Amazon will go out and retarget all the people that have viewed that coffee bean listing page with your product because it's frequently bought with. So it actually makes sense. So it's those are the 3 different types. Just to recap, there's the promoted ASINs, there's the brand ASINs, and then there's the relative ASINs. And this is all under the dynamic e-commerce retargeting app.
Nice. And how would you put that all together? I mean, I know that your agency is going to be implementing it soon for a lot of your clients, and you'll be able to run some tests and obviously come back to the show and explain what's going on. What kind of ideas have you got in terms of putting a framework together? If some of the guys, I know that a lot of our audience do from like 10K a month to 500K. So there are going to be portions of the audience who can go straight into this because they've got a huge amount of ASINs and they're larger companies. So what kind of benchmarks would you set up and kind of protocols to run some tests for these?
Well, the first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be testing the ads that are at the bottom of the funnel. So with the 3 different ad segments that I just mentioned, the promoted ASINs, which is the number one where you're directly retargeting people that have viewed your listing, is going to have usually the highest conversion rate because it's people that have viewed it. Now, some people might think, well, the brand ASINs would probably have a higher one because they've viewed multiple products. Amazon states that the conversion rate is actually higher with the promoted ASINs. It's the bottom of the funnel, so to speak, right? And then you keep going up. So those ones would have the highest conversion rate. So that's the very first thing that we're going to test with the dynamic e-commerce retargeting ads. And then we're obviously going to go directly into the lookalike audiences. And we're going to first target, like, so the way that we're going to do it is we're going to segment the emails. So we're going to take all the emails that our clients have for one of our clients and make sure that we segment the emails. So these are all the emails for people that have purchased the testosterone booster, put them into their own group, right? You want to make sure to segment it. Now, if you have if you can segment it further, great. Like if you know the attributes of those emails and the people who have purchased, like what their age group is, and you can segment and start a campaign for a lookalike audience that says, hey, these are all people between the ages of 18 to 23, put that into a campaign, all 10,000 of these emails, and retarget them. And then this is 24 to 27, put that, like the more you can break it down and segment, the better, because I don't know how good the reporting is. So the more you can kind of break it out, the better. It's similar to the product display ads, how Amazon doesn't tell you which ASIN actually converted. If you put 10 competitor ASINs in, you're going to have no idea which one converted. So you want to do your best to segment it so you can actually optimize the campaign. So same thing with the lookalike audiences. That's the approach that we're going to take. As far as the display ads, like doing the video ads and the display network stuff on the Kindle Fire homepage, we're not going to be. Yeah. I advise nobody to go there. I mean, I've talked to countless people who are like, yeah, we tested it. Yeah. Spent $30,000 and didn't see the ROI, and I'm just like, well, what do you expect? Yeah. So another thing is it's a CPM advertising model, so cost per impression, right? Cost per 1,000 impressions. Yeah. It's not a CPC, it's not PPC, pay per click. It's CPM. So that's why this whole brand advertising, the homepage stuff isn't that effective, because it's just you're paying for every impression, and as you know, I'm sure that nobody is going to click on those. At like a very, very, very small percentage of people are actually going to click. So that's why a lot of people burn through a lot of capital.
Well, people suffer from banner blindness, don't they? The conversion rates are really poor.
Yeah. So that's kind of the route that we're going to go. We're definitely going to start with the promoted ASINs, and then we're going to move into the lookalike audiences.
Cool.
That's going to do it.
Sounds good. So we've pretty much covered everything now. Is that we've covered AAP. So the good thing here, guys, is that if you're in the situation, well, we're all in the situation where headline ads are coming to Seller Central, maybe the next big step is to become more sophisticated and move along to AAP now, if it could be accessible. You were saying to me is that there's a minimum threshold, isn't there? But obviously as an agency, it's different for you because you can blanket it.
So this is, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm 90% sure from my memory that if you want to self-service these ads, like if you want to manage them yourself, you actually can't. Like you have to go to Amazon, and Amazon has to manage it for you, or you have to go to an agency. Yeah. Now, I want to clarify this and then come on the next show and make sure that's actually the case. But from what I remember, that's actually the case. And so when you work with Amazon, you're actually going to pay a higher amount because Amazon has their own reps that are managing it. And then when you work with an agency, it's going to be slightly lower because the agency's managing it. So their fee will be the extra amount that you pay. But as far as I know, you can't actually self-service manage it yourself, which sucks. And
the thing is, for me, it sounds to me that just from experience dealing with people from Amazon, and no disrespect, but I find the likes of, if I wanted someone, obviously I'd do my own, but if I wanted someone to manage my PPC campaigns or my AMS, I'm going to more than likely trust someone like yourself or Sean or Brian Johnson, Brian Bowman, you know, people that I believe know what they're talking about and know what they're doing, rather than someone who works for Amazon. I mean, if you look at seller support, I dread to think what a rep's like when it comes to the advertising platform and letting you loose on your money with them, you know, so.
So you know, and you got to keep in mind, like Amazon's best interest. These reps are also getting paid on commission based on how much money they're spending, how much of your money they're spending.
Yeah.
So their best interest is let's spend as much money as possible.
Yeah.
You know, because we want impressions, we want to get your brand out there. I'm just thinking to myself, like that is not what anybody cares about. People just want to see an increase in sales at a cost that is somewhat profitable.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. So one thing though, moving like with the whole headline ads moving to Seller Central. What people are forgetting is that product display ads aren't there yet. And so there's still a ton of room to grow in product display ads. Also, I should mention that previously on previous sessions where I came on seller sessions, I'd said that product display ads account for 20% of the total sales that you'll see on AMS. So headline ads usually amount for 80%, which makes sense because of the placement in headline ads is so prominent. What we're seeing now in the last few weeks, we've done a ton of testing with product display ads, and it now accounts for about 30 to 35%.
So it's growing.
So almost
cool.
Yeah, definitely growing. I don't know. I think it's because of the tests we're doing. Maybe they're like juicing it up. I don't know what's going on. None of the placements have changed. I think it's mainly just because of the tests that we're doing. So in the beginning, I think we were just kind of slacking on the amount of testing that we were doing.
Right. So the structure of tests now are more robust. You're putting more effort into getting the structure right, so you get better understanding of the results.
One thing, one of the things that everybody should be doing is when you pull your search term report and you filter that customer search term column, and you look at only ASINs that have converted in your search term report. If you see an ASIN that has like greater than 3 orders and it's at a profitable ACOS in your search term report, put that thing in its own campaign and check the little button that says Amazon auto targeting to find relative ASINs. I almost never advise to do that. But when it's an ASIN that has converted 3 orders or more at a profitable rate, it actually will like perform really good normally. So put that in, test it out. And then if the performance isn't great, it's fine. Tweak the bid a little bit, tweak the budget a little bit. And still after 2 weeks, if you see it's not performing well, then just take that ASIN, copy that campaign, put it, and then uncheck that and then split test it. So that's one thing that everybody should test with all their ASINs that are 3 orders plus conversion.
Cool. Sounds good. So let's wrap that there. So again, Taylor, thank you so much for coming in. Obviously, we'll see you in a few weeks' time with some new test results from AAP and the new storefront. So that'd be good. Guys, don't forget you can subscribe. If you want to like the video, you can. If you want to comment below, you obviously can. And Taylor and I will come back to you and respond to any questions you may have. Other than that, thank you again for joining us, and we will see you next week.